Right. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first episode officially of the Media Decoded podcast. We are very excited to be here. My name's Ethan. This is going to be my co host or host, whatever you'd like to call him. That is my father across from me right here. If you go on and introduce yourself to the audience.
I'm the dad.
So now he thinks he's Batman now. So yes, he is indeed my father. His name is Kenneth Amiibo, and I am Ethan Amiibo. We are the two official hosts of the Media Decoded podcast, unless that changes, because we're gonna get pretty big one day. So definitely stick around for that. But yeah, so we're just here to talk about comic books, media, TV shows, basically all of the above that has to do with the internet, media, what's new, what's popping, and things we'll discuss things that you probably won't like, but things that we think you will like as well. If you
Basically
stick with us.
critiquing. We're just gonna be critiquing
Critiquing,
and
yes.
giving our worthless opinion.
Now, now,
to
worthless
everything.
is if you'd like to take it as worthless, but I feel like we have a pretty good idea of
Yeah,
what we're
yeah,
talking about.
yeah, for sure.
So, we're actually gonna go ahead and jump right into it. But first thing you need to do is make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that like button. Smash it, actually. Make sure that you smash it as many times as you feel. Share this with your friends. If you like this episode, definitely share it with your family, your friends, everybody. And let's get into our first topic, shall we?
Just keep rocking.
So this is gonna be a little quick little topic to touch on. It's gonna be about the new Flash trailer. What did you think of that?
I really loved it. It's I think this is gonna be a big one for DC, for the DCU as they now call it, because it makes you wonder why James Gunn didn't cut it,
Yeah.
and he kept it in the slates,
Mm-hmm.
using it as a jump off point, kind of like everybody already knows the flashpoint.
Yeah.
So this is a perfect opportunity for him to erase a lot of things too bad to the Rock. But I mean, he was a perfect Black Adam.
Yeah, I thought it was
So
really
if
nice.
they ever think about redoing that character, he's gonna be perfect. Or the guy who played his younger self in the Young Rock
Yeah,
show,
whatever.
he
I've
would
never
be a
seen it,
perfect
but
guy for it too. But anyway, yeah, that Flash preview was hands down one of the best. And then again, previews just give you the best of everything. So
yes.
hopefully
Hopefully
the story
it's
is right.
true
But I
to
think the story is solid because of Gunn leaving it in the slate.
Mhm.
So I think that's going to be awesome.
I think for what I saw, at least, obviously coming off of all the other DC movies. Now, I personally am not the biggest fan of the DC universe so far, but there are still some what you'd call diamonds in the rough of their movies that they've come out with,
Yeah, yeah.
such as like Aquaman. I thought Aquaman was pretty
Yeah,
decent.
Aquaman, I can't wait for 2.
Yes, and then my golden gem, Man of Steel. I think that movie is one of the best superhero movies
Yeah.
of my time, at least. But
liked it.
I think that movie was really good. So I feel like they have some decent backbone, seeing that General Zod is back inside
Yeah,
that
I
trailer.
was just
So,
thinking that. It's
I-
amazing. I like the
yeah.
fact they brought him back.
I'm excited to see what they do with that.
it.
So
Yeah, and then Supergirl or
Supergirl, yes.
Superwoman or whatever they want to call her. Wow.
I think that the lineup that they have in that movie is really gonna, I guess, propel it to a different level compared to the other ones. Because the other movies are obviously a whole bunch of standalones, but this one has basically all the characters from the Snyder universe that everyone liked and enjoyed the most. You have General Zod, obviously, from the Man of Steel movies, which is definitely a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
You have Ben Affleck's Batman, which people have been parading for him to come back and do one more appearance as Batman. So in the trailer, it seems to me like we see a whole bunch of that. So
I
I'm excited.
hope they bring back the Martian Manhunter.
You think so?
Yeah,
Like the one from Snyder Cut?
Yeah, I have a feeling that he's gonna be in there, but a better looking version.
Yeah, like a more finished,
Yeah,
polished version. And not to say that the Snyder Cut one looked too bad, but I think that they could definitely bring him back. But I think the Flash trailer looks really good. To wrap up my thoughts, at least I think it looks amazing. I think that obviously we're going to proceed with caution because with most DC movies, the trailer does look good, but then sometimes the movie doesn't come out to what we expect it to be.
Yep.
But I think it looks good. If you have any more final thoughts to add to the Flash trailer.
No, that's really it. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Cool.
Can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. So let us know in the comments your thoughts on the Flash trailer. When we watched it, we both came to an agreement that we really did like it. Make sure you comment down below about the Flash trailer. Let us know how you feel about it as well.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so we're gonna move on to our main topic. Our main topic, this one's gonna be a little heartfelt one for me because I feel some type of way. But we're gonna be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp:
Oh
Quantumania.
yeah.
Now, in my opinion, just to give my quick little thoughts off the bat, I think that personally the movie was questionable, but I think that for the most part it was decent. But there's a couple of things I didn't like, a couple of things I did like, which I'll run through really fast here. I think that Kang was definitely a highlight of that movie with ease. I think that he was the shining star. Jonathan Majors definitely plays that role very,
Yeah.
very nicely.
Absolutely.
And I think that I like the different aspects of how Ant Man plays off with each other. I think all the whole Ant Man family, like Cassie
Ant
Lang,
family.
yeah, the Ant fam. I think they play off each other really nicely.
Ant Lee.
Yeah, and I think that they definitely roll off each other a lot really nicely. Like Cassie, I thought I wasn't gonna like her going into the movie, but I ended up really enjoying her. Yeah,
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
It wasn't too campy.
yeah, the trailers made her seem like she was gonna be like some rebel that's gonna mess everything up. But granted, obviously in the trailers you can see she is the reason why they got there without getting into too many spoilers. But I still feel like she definitely was a surprise character to me that I thought was pretty nice.
And the one thing everybody keeps whining about, or at least everybody's surprised, that, oh man, how did Ant-Man beat Kang and all that stuff? He didn't beat Kang. And also, if if you notice
Yeah,
I don't want to give it away.
Won't get too deep,
I don't give it
obviously.
away.
But
My bad, spoilers.
But to be fair, if you have not
if you
seen it
haven't
already,
seen it already,
it's been about a week,
yeah,
which is another thing that we're going to quickly touch on. But like after his thoughts, of course, if you can continue, how else did you feel about Ant-Man?
I love the end credits. 2 end credits, by the way.
Yeah, make sure you stick around for those.
So the end credits really tell you a lot about what's about to happen and the way they're going to start tying things to the comic book, basically using the comic book references and changing them all up to
match
to fit what's going on in MCU and to fit film. So it's going to be really interesting. I really liked what they're doing. There's a lot of they've done a lot of legwork to lay things out for the Infinity Saga and the Avengers, Kang Wars,
Kang Dynasty and stuff. Yeah, and Secret Wars that's
coming out. So it's gonna be really cool.
Okay.
There's a good, maybe our next episode we'll touch upon this. What happens to Kang?
Yeah.
When you see the end credits, I think the last end credits will explain a lot of things that kind of mimics or works it like what happens in the comic books.
Okay. So yeah, definitely we will probably touch on that one next episode for sure. I just there's a couple of things like outside of like Kang and Ant-Man that I liked in the movie. I like to be fair, I wasn't the biggest fan, and obviously people know that MODOK is in the movie. Without giving too much away about him, I think that I think he was a solid addition to the movie.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like I liked how he was the butt end of every joke in the movie. I liked that a lot. I feel like he provided the
comic relief.
Yeah, the comic relief is the better word. But yeah, I feel like.
So that's no spoilers. That's
yeah,
not a spoiler.
He's in MODOK is in the trailers. So yeah, without, like I said, obviously without giving away too much about MODOK, he definitely is a character that I feel like audiences will enjoy to watch.
Like MODOK.
And another thing about Quantumania that I found to be interesting was the whole dynamic between Kang and Janet. I thought that Janet being the Cassie's grandma, Wasp's mom, but I feel like their whole story of how they were there together, blah blah blah, like their past is really, it's interesting because it provides you background onto Kang, and you slowly get like a feel like this movie's. It really explores Kang as a character, and
not only Kang as a character, but it also explores the quantum realm.
Yeah,
it gives you. This movie comes out almost like a Star Trekky, Star Wars type feel.
Yeah,
with the whole different scenes and creatures and stuff like that.
And that was one thing that I felt like I didn't know if
people.
Yeah, I didn't know if audiences would have taken that well, because like the thing is, obviously, there's not really as much Star Wars fans as there was back then, but like I feel like now, going into that movie, I wasn't expecting that. Like when I saw the trailers, like I wasn't expecting it to be some mystical, strange world type thing. When I went into it, I was expecting like, okay, we're gonna see the quantum realm. It's gonna be Kang and his armies that are already there or something. But no, it was actually like a true like a space odyssey.
Like Lost in Space.
Yeah, like you were going.
It's
It was
kinda
like
like
different
Lost in
worlds
Space, yeah.
over and over. So like I found that to be interesting. The colors in that movie too, like
Yeah, really nice.
my eyes were just all over the screen because there was just so many neons
Yeah.
and bright yellows
Different
and greens.
colors.
No, yes, and definitely. And I feel like this movie does a lot for Kang going forward in the MCU
Yeah.
because there was a lot of I guess I would say question mark after Loki, because he does appear in Loki as He Who Remains in the final episode of Loki, and I felt like it didn't that I feel like then you were like, okay, so he's already explained there's gonna be multiple variants of himself, different things like that. I was still on edge a little bit, like, okay, how is he gonna be the next Thanos level villain,
Yeah.
But granted, they gave you like a feel of him, like, okay, yeah, like he's gonna be like
Yeah.
multiple of him are
So
gonna be crazy.
the end credits is what.
Yeah, is what really
what
shows that, and
shows
and
he's
that's what I
gonna
was
be
that's
the
what I was
big
gonna
bad.
connect to. The end credits really, and even like I said, the Kang that we see in this movie really solidifies for me, like, yo, like this man is gonna be like
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Nuts.
But definitely that for
And
sure.
then a lot of people are going to be mad the way it ended, but don't forget, Kang is just a man.
Yeah,
He's just a simple man who's just happened to be a genius.
yeah, who just happened to be who he is.
From the 31st century. So
Yes,
he has a lot of
Nathaniel
technology, has a lot of technology, a lot of smarts. So
Yes,
yeah.
for sure. No, and I guess to put a final score on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania as a whole, for me, I'm gonna do it out of a scale of 10. I think although the movie had its good aspects, there was a couple of things that I disagreed with. Obviously, can't really say too much because of spoiler purposes, but I think the movie is a very enjoyable watch. Maybe might be all over the place every now and then, or moves too fast with its pace. But I think out of 10, after thinking about it a lot more, I think I'll give it a solid 6. I wouldn't like I wouldn't put it low because
At least a 7 or 8.
Because
7.5 or 8.
the problem was a 6 for the MCU isn't bad by any means of the realm.
Yeah,
but
I know.
That's just how I feel about it.
It makes you wonder sometimes why, especially. Okay, let's jump back all the way to Black Widow.
Yeah.
Black Widow is a spy. You would expect the movie to look like a James Bond or a Mission Impossible type movie.
But
it's like
it had that Marvel filter.
Yeah, it just had that too much Marvel filter. But I mean, Ant-Man and the Wasp didn't really have too much of that. But it just makes you wonder, why can't they just? The comic books are so intricate and so deep. Why can't they just weave a more intricate story? Like, look at to me, I'm drawing a blank. The Ten Rings one with Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Right. So Shang-Chi, with all those mystical stuff, towards the end it just fell flat.
Yeah.
I mean, then fighting the dragon and all that. Yeah.
Although,
that's cool.
Although altogether, I think Shang-Chi is definitely up there as one of the.
Shang-Chi would have been better. The moment they hit Asia, or whatever it's Hong Kong or wherever they were, that part should have been deeper.
Yeah.
They should have gone to different layers of either fighting. They didn't show too much of his skills because he spent half the time running.
Yeah.
And then the other time he held back from hurting his sister, and then his dad comes around, oh, I knew they were going to beat you up because no, they didn't challenge him as much, They didn't show all his skills before he ended up at the end,
So do you feel like that's the issue that happens with Black Widow and Quantumania per se?
Or so that's starting to be a running theme, but hopefully
with Guardians
and I know Guardians won't be that way because James Gunn he's just badass.
Or even the Marvels comes out in November of this year. That'll be the Captain Marvel film with
so
Ms.
hopefully they get some solid writing, solid writers to do these write these stories. It's just like DC they need to get like the freaking cartoon movies, the writers
The
for the
writers for
cartoon
those.
movies to write the damn stories for a big screen.
Yeah.
Because those guys are bad. Those movies are just like crazy good.
They are really
You
good,
know, so
especially
it
the
just
DC ones, like the Justice League ones. Those ones are they're crazy. They're so good.
insane. And then they just come out to the with a film and just go off flat. It's just
Yeah.
ridiculous. But
No, I definitely.
yeah.
So, what would you say? All in all, your thoughts on Quantumania? What would you
I
put?
like
What
it.
ranking would you
I
put?
like
on
it.
that?
I'll give it a solid 7.5 to an 8. Just because it really explored a lot. It gave you a lot of. It showed you Kang. I like the fact where the suits, because in the comic book it looked weird.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how they're gonna translate that
Yeah,
into film.
I can feel
But
that.
they did an
They did it
awesome
real
job
nice.
by making it a real armor type suit. It looked clean. Like almost like a living suit. Like when he
Yeah, like when he was
goes
moving,
to
it would like breathe with him. of
exactly. It
sorts.
kind of moved with him and all that good stuff. So yeah, I mean,
So a 7.5 is what you
yeah,
put on it.
7.5. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would put a six on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But those are our thoughts on Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. That's our non-spoiler review, obviously without giving too much away. But let us know what you thought of the movie. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you feel, how you feel about Kang, how you feel like this affects the MCU moving forward. I feel like this was definitely a solid entry to the multiverse saga that they're starting. So yeah, go on and let us know in the comments below what your thoughts are.
And look forward to our next video where we really go into what
Yes,
happened and
a deeper dive.
a deeper dive with it. But if you haven't seen it at that point,
then I mean, it's just
sucks to be you.
I don't know what to tell you at that point. But
Yeah.
so we're going to segue into one of our two last topics, which are both quick topics. But I want to hear your thoughts on your most anticipated movies of this year. Give me your 3 picks.
All right, Dune 2.
Part 2. Okay, yes. Yeah.
Big time.
For
Dune
obvious
2.
reasons.
I would say the new Mission Impossible.
Dead Reckoning.
Dead Reckoning.
Okay.
Can't wait to see that. And the last one, probably I guess Transformers.
Okay. Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast.
new
Yeah. I mean, you know what? That may be my 4th. What other movies do we have coming out this
we
year?
We have John Wick that's going to drop at the end of this month.
Yeah,
The Flash in July.
So
or
Flash.
June.
You know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to just the Flash.
Guardians 3 in May, as we just mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even as excited anymore about those movies.
Really? Because of Marvel, like the whole... You think you have Marvel fatigue?
Probably. You know what? Probably, yeah. But, I mean, I can't wait to see...
How they do
it, but I can't wait for Blade. I mean, they just...
Yeah.
But it looks like they're going to tie Blade into some of the multiversal war type thing, And but I also can't wait to see the what is that?
Which one?
the Captain America.
Oh, well, that's not till 2024.
Not the Captain America, the one with the. Wow, I'm drawing a blank.
Captain Marvel?
No, the shapeshifters. What they call it? Again?
Oh, Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
I believe that's a
Jesus
Disney
Christ.
Plus show still.
So is that going to be a Disney Plus?
Yeah. I mean, it still can be a part of your most anticipated.
I look forward to see that. But yeah, I mean, for movie wise, I'm just drawing a blank. But those two for sure, I can't wait to see.
Those are solid.
I mean, the Beetle too. I mean,
or also
the Blue Beetle.
Spider-Verse. That also comes out.
There you go, Spider-Verse for sure. Yeah. Spider-Verse. I'm looking forward to that. But I want to see what they do with the Blue Beetle because there's no previews. All you just have is just the posters now.
That's the most interesting part about DC. I feel like obviously I don't think James Gunn is necessarily worried about the marketing of these movies that aren't even in his whole new grand plan.
It sounds like from what he said, it sounds like Blue Beetle is in his plan too, in a sense, because it's more of like an origin story.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the fact, especially for the new Superman movie he's going to be writing and directing. I think that would be really good. The approach he's going with it is giving it a fresh new look, starting everything from scratch, and basically taking the Marvel formula and just
flipping it on its head,
and then using it the
for his
proper way. So
advantage.
that way you have longevity. You
Yeah.
should be stretching
And this
that
this
bad boy
this
out
plan is going
forever.
for 10 years, is
Yeah.
what he said. It's 10 years.
The first one. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be
I think
cool.
I think for me,
Takes them
my
at least 2 years to make a movie.
yeah.
So
So Superman drops in 2025, is what he
yeah,
said.
yeah.
So I guess going on to my top three, I'm trying to think because the problem is with me, there's so many movies that are convoluted for me. Not all of them I'm necessarily too excited for. It's just obviously I have my number one, in my opinion, for this year would be John Wick Chapter 4. I mean, as much as I love,
Not Dune 2.
it's the problem is with Dune. I'm on it's on same levels. They're in my top two because I love the John Wick movies. Granted, I didn't start watching them until like let's say what 2 years ago, a year ago.
Yeah.
But the second I watched it, and I watched I think 1, 2, and 3 all back to back, I thought they were one of the greatest movies I've ever watched. Only for the simple fact that it does so much right. It keeps you engaged. It's like one of those franchises.
The world
Yeah.
of John Wick is so
Yeah.
deep and vast that
It's one of those things that
so
you.
much.
It's one of those things that one of those franchises that came out of nowhere. That was like okay, like it's not like it's
a sleeper hit.
yeah, it wasn't based on anything. There's no book, nothing like that. It was just someone decided to make a movie about an assassin, and it's kept its longevity.
Assassin.
And I guess yeah. So John Wick will be my number one. Dune Chapter 2 obviously will be my second one, coming off of Dune Chapter 1, which was oh my God, Denis Villeneuve has made one of the greatest movies of our time, in my opinion. That movie is beautiful.
Which movie is it?
Dune. Yeah, the first one. It's beautiful. The story, it's a slow burn, and that's why I feel like some of the people didn't like it, but they don't understand the point of Dune Chapter 1. Just wait till you get to Chapter 2.
Very artistic.
Yeah, because once you get to Chapter 2, all the people that were
everything blows up. Opens up.
That were complaining about the action, the lack of action from Chapter 1. You just wait till Chapter 2. You'll get the story of Chapter 1 and the action all with it. But Dune, definitely will be my number 2. And to wrap it up for me, I think my third would definitely be Spider-Verse. Only for the simple fact that first one, I consider Spider-Verse, that whole year of 2018, which had Avengers Infinity War, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp came out that year. And then there was some DC movie that came out that year, I believe. But regardless or not, I don't really care about the DC movie.
Green Lantern.
It was something goofy that came out. But that Spider-Verse I think was the best superhero movie of that year.
Oh yeah.
Even with Infinity War in it.
Hands down, it was
because
just
it was just
it was different.
Oh yes, for sure.
It's totally different.
And it's arguably one of in my opinion, it's between that and Spider-Man 2 for the best Spider-Man movie of all time.
I gotta like Spider-Man 2. It's
That's what I'm
right.
saying. I think Spider-Man 2 was really good because
I think it got watered down too.
After No Way Home.
Yeah, No Way Home was really nice.
It was a good movie.
I really liked No Way Home.
But bringing it back, I feel like kind of lost the value. Like the characters back, I feel like it kind of diminished some of the value from those older movies because now I've seen them again. But so that's gonna be our most anticipated. I think your list is pretty good. I like your list. Your list is pretty solid. They're very similar besides our number ones, I believe.
Right.
But so that's gonna wrap up our most anticipated movie of the year. What is y'all's most anticipated movies of this year?
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Do you have one? Do you have two? Do you have three? Just let us know in the comments what you think is gonna be good. Also, let us know what you think is not gonna be that good. Do you agree with our list or do you not? Let us know in the comments
and
below.
soon we'll be coming out with recommended movie lists.
Yes.
So you guys can just grab that.
A longer deep dive.
In a description. And so just so you can see what kind of movies we're into and what kind of genres we like. And hope you guys enjoy it. But we'll put that together for you guys soon.
Yeah. So unfortunately, this is going to be the end of our first episode. I think this was a very, very, very solid discussion. First episode that we had here.
Yep.
I'm very excited for the future of this podcast. We're obviously, like I said at the very beginning, we're talking about media, movies, TV shows, critiquing them, deep diving into them, and all of that.
And even feel free to leave some. Leave in the comments what kind of movies or what movies you want us to break down for you. What you want us to critique for you.
Yes.
What our thoughts are about movies, different shows, different even I guess sometimes even video games because you like to play video games.
Exactly. Yes. Very much so. We'll definitely talk about that at some point.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, for sure. That's gonna be our first episode of the Media Decoded podcast. This was a very, very successful first episode. Once again, my name is Ethan Amiibo, one of your very dear, loving hosts of the Media Decoded podcast. And I'm going to be signing out along with my co-host or host, like I said, whichever one you like to call him, my dad, Kenneth Amiibo, who thinks he is Batman. So we are
All
going
right.
to see y'all in the next one.
Peace.